how to apply for GTIN exemption, or as Amazon is now calling it, UPC exemption. So what this does, this allows you to avoid having to purchase expensive GS1 barcodes when you're creating your Amazon listing. So this is the process for applying for GTIN or UPC exemption. Go to Seller Central, go to the menu, go to catalog and add products. And that will bring you to this page. You have a few options across the top. Make sure you choose blank form, then click the start button, and that will bring you through to this page. So let's populate this form with some dummy details. So let's say we're going to sell a salt lamp. And as we go through it, more fields are going to appear. So make sure you press enter after entering the item name, which is basically your product title. And when you do that, it's going to try and allocate a product type. So Amazon thinks this is a lamp, which I think is okay. And we're going to click for confirm. Now, if it picks the wrong type of product, choose select other, because what Amazon is going to do is trying to assign the category node based on the product type. So when I click confirm, it's going to show us the category structure that it's put it into, or Amazon call it nodes rather than categories. And as you can see here, recommended browse nodes, lighting, indoor lighting, lamps, bases and shades, table lamps. And if you don't think that's right, you can edit it and change it. For the purposes of this video, we don't really care too much. The next thing is to enter your brand name. Now, if you already have brand registry, i.e. you've applied for a trademark, you've got brand registry, this will make this process slightly quicker. But really, even if you don't have brand registry, the documentation you have to submit is pretty much identical either way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop in the FBA Elite brand name, which isn't brand registered. So you guys get an example of what you'll see if you're a new seller and don't have brand registry. So you can see here, I've entered FBA Elite as the brand name. Now, external product ID, this is where GS1 and your UPC would have come into play, but instead we're not going to enter those. We're going to choose I don't have a product ID instead. So usually you'd pop it in there and then choose the type of barcode that it is. But for this product, we're going to choose I don't have a product ID. And then just behind the webcam, if I just hide this very quickly, we're going to click this next button. And you can see it's popped up these two errors. Brand name approval required. You have entered a brand name that has not been approved by Amazon. You need to apply for approval to list products using this brand name. Like I say, if you already have a trademark and Amazon brand registry, you will not get this error. And the second part, UPC exemption required. You can see Amazon has changed the terminology from GTIN exemption to UPC exemption. Well, at least in some parts of Seller Central anyway. You have indicated that your product does not have a product ID, you need to apply for approval to list this product without a product ID. Now, I've been testing this today, and what I found is if you do have brand approval, Amazon allowed me to get UPC exemption in pretty much any category without asking for additional documentation. So maybe that's something you guys might experience as well. But let's say you don't. Click on the apply to sell button, and then Amazon is going to pop up this form. So I'm going to hide the webcam and make this a bit bigger so you can see what they are asking from you guys. So brands require approval in order to approve your GTIN exemption. So remember on the previous screen, it's called UPC exemption. Amazon must also approve your brand. So let's scroll down a bit further. So they've got a video here you can watch if you want. Come down a bit further. Submit required information. This is a brand approval application for FBA Elite. Brand names need to be approved by Amazon before they can be used by sellers. Brand names must adhere to the brand name policy to be approved for use. Are you a brand owner with a registered or pending trademark? You may be eligible to enroll in brand registry. If we scroll down a bit further, if you are attempting to list an unbranded product, please leave this workflow and use generic in the brand field. I do not recommend doing this. Do not use generic. If you're a private label seller, you're going to be selling your own brand. Do not use this as a workaround. So the documents that you have to submit include an image of your brand's logo without other products in the picture. Label the image file as your brand name. Example, if your brand is called brand image, label the file to brandimage.png. At least 2 images of your brand, FBA Elite's product and packaging. So this is pretty straightforward. Product pictures should not be blurry or truncated. Fair enough. The text in the images, like the brand, must be legible. Yeah, that's fair enough. The branding on your product or packaging must match FBA Elite perfectly, okay? The pictures are taken by you and items are handheld or placed on a table. Digitally altered or photoshopped images will result in your application being declined. So I have a couple of issues with this. Sometimes you can get your supplier to take the photo for you. So if you haven't got the samples with your branding in this country, but you've got them at the factory, get your Chinese supplier to take the photo. And if you are very good with Photoshop, you probably can get away with photoshopping the logo onto the product, but that is not a recommendation from me, but I'm letting you know that sometimes it is possible. The brand in FBA Elite must be stamped, stitched, printed, or stuck on the product and or packaging so that it is not easily removable. What they're basically saying here is don't use stickers. It has to be permanently affixed to the product. If apparel or jewelry, branded hand tags are acceptable. If requesting a GTIN exemption, images should include all sides of your product and packaging and should not have a GS1 barcode. If a GS1 barcode is present, you may use this as the product ID. So you're going to take a few photos showing all sides of your product, showing your branding on the product, and then you're going to upload them to Amazon. You're going to populate your email address here and click the submit button. And that's it, providing you do everything they ask, which is fairly straightforward. It's taking a few pictures of your product with your brand on it. It's not that complicated. And then you'll be able to keep an eye on your selling applications. If I zoom out here, because I'm a bit zoomed in, if you go to menu and go to catalog and view selling applications, I'll just zoom in a couple of bits. There we go, catalog, view selling applications. That will bring you to this page. And you'll see a structure like this. It will show the brand that you applied for and the category that you're applying to sell in. And GTIN exemption or UPC exemption is category based. So it's not just for one product. You are approved then to list more GTIN or UPC exempt products in that category without having to apply each time. There is also a PDF about GTIN exemption from Amazon. So if you go to fbaelite.com/GTIN.pdf, you can download this document, and this is the official guidance from Amazon. I don't know why it's so long. It doesn't need to be that long, but it's an interesting read nonetheless. Now, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, I've been selling on Amazon for over 7 years, but the question is, has it been worth it? Well, I've recorded a video that answers that specific question. I'm going to pop up a link to that video now, and I'll see you guys over there.